Jill, it's lovely to see you again. Not that I've been spending too much time with you at the moment.
Hi Abby, always a pleasure. We only sit next to each other every day.
Absolutely. Well, listen, just on to what we've been speaking about recently, and I suppose what we want to discuss with everyone today is the future of work and what that looks like, because I think it's the question in all of our clients and candidates' heads at the moment.
This is the hottest topic at the moment. We have seen so much change in the last few years. How we work, where we work from, you know, kind of what our benefits need to look like to be appealing. There's so much change within people, culture and talent. And, you know, I feel like we're really at the heart of those conversations. You know, we are not just recruiters. We are so plugged in to the world of work and what that looks like. We partner with people-first organisations who put HR at the heart of decision-making and strategic decisions that affect the entire business.
Absolutely. And I think, again, another thing that I want to touch on with you is you mentioning about HR being plugged in and really having the seat at the table is that evolution of HR and how much it's changed over the past 3, 4, 5 years and the expectations from those professionals and how we actually coach them through building teams. What should they be up to date with? Where is the best place for them to get their knowledge?
Absolutely. I mean, the level of data and insights that are required to make strategic people-based decisions, you know, we are so plugged in. We have reports, we have, you know, not just salary benchmarking, but really deep surveys around what people want in terms of fulfilling work, you know, good, solid company benefits. Flexibility comes up time and time again as well, doesn't it?
Flexibility does come up, and I think it's interesting, isn't it, again, how that evolution has changed. You know, remote working, for example, naturally we've seen that there is a spike in hybrid over that, you know, both from a job capacity, but also candidates are actually preferring that face-to-face contact. I mean, we're avid believers, aren't we, that we always want to meet every single candidate we're representing. We're like to our clients, let's come and see your office. You know, what does it look like? Let's get the energy. Let's understand the type of person that's going to be a real culture add to your business. But equally, again, in some of the sectors we're partnering with across kind of that boutique FS space, as well as fintech and technology, we're finding some businesses are actually requiring them back into the office close to 4 or 5 days. And we're having to manage those expectations and ultimately follow the client's lead and say to candidates, well, listen, this is their reasoning. I think it's interesting how, we've naturally moved to that 3-4 days, I think, has become way more popular.
It has in some ways, and I think, you know, people want to know if they're going into the office that they're not just going to be sat on their own,
absolutely,
trying to stand up every few minutes to keep the lights on,
you
know, doing the kind of I'm in the office on my own little wave.
The waving,
You know, we've kind of all been there, and I think people want to know if they're going into the office that it's going to be fun, they're going to have people to collaborate with, and, you know, a fruit bowl won't hurt either.
It doesn't need to be a tick box exercise anymore, does it? I mean, something that we're sort of saying to our teams and strategizing is, do you know what? If we're in, let's do our meetings in person, but naturally we're going to have a back-to-back day of VCs, phone calls, and private conversations. But what can HR do, and how do they make sure they're plugged into the world of work with other things that are really important over hybrid working? You know, I feel like we've all spoken about that now. We all kind of know. But how are they expected to know the best kind of strategies and focus and plans of actions partnering with C-suite around diversity and inclusion, well-being, data, like you said earlier? But naturally, they've still got to be a generalist. And then we've been told that they need to get their hands dirty and be operational, but you must be able to make a strategic decision. And how do they continue evolving? You know, we've got CIPD, but actually the world of work is changing every single day. The requirements are changing every single day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the future of work and what that looks like is, you know, an ever-changing landscape. But I think it's really important to always look at the data. Ask your employees what they want. Look at your competitors. What are they doing? If you don't know, ask us. You know, we're so plugged in. We'll know what your competitors are offering in terms of benefit, flexibility, even, you know, annual reviews and what they look like, realistic bonuses or achievable bonuses, what people actually get versus the maximum percentage on their offer letters. And I think, you know, being that plugged in really helps us guide the right candidates into the right jobs, and that's what we're all here for. We want the right people in the right roles, because hiring mistakes are costly and they're painful, you know, for many, many reasons. So we want the right culture fit. If you want your employees in 5 days a week, tell us why, and we will find you someone that wants to be there 5 days a week, rather than someone that wants to do 3 days but is kind of, you know, coerced or kind of talked into something, or hoping that they'll join a business that will change its mind about how they operate. I think, you know, we help candidates do due diligence on what that next employer looks like and what the right culture is for them.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think naturally as well, and we can go on to talk about our roundtables and things like that earlier, but obviously we're partnering with a lot of HR consultants at the moment and standalone heads of HRs or heads of TA, whoever. And they're like, I don't have anyone to speak to. You know, I don't have a peer group to bounce ideas off. I need some like-minded people, and that's what we're here for. You know, give us a call and be like, do you know what, Abby? What's going on out there? What can you see? What can you feel? What is the next thing that our organisation needs to be doing? How can we be one step ahead of our competitor? And I think that's what we have, isn't it? That we can partner you with equally another standalone head of HR, and you guys can go and meet for coffee and share ideas. But equally, we can give you that information.
Exactly.
And that's how we've become not recruiters, but I think partners.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.